Two congressmen teaming up to make FEMA independent amid a growing push to reform the agency. The key to getting it done, they say, cutting red tape. The bill proposing FEMA be detached from DHS and operate as a separate cabinet-level entity, while also requiring a director to be appointed upon and confirmed by the Senate, is being pushed in a bipartisan effort. That effort, which is pushing the FEMA Independence Act, is being pushed forward by Florida Republican Congressman Byron Donalds and Florida Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Out of courtesy, I have to start with Congressman Moskowitz. I don't know if Congressman Himes gave you a high five on his way out, but I promise you this conversation might not be quite as heated as the one I just had with Congressman Himes. Congressman Moskowitz, let me ask you this. Why do you think FEMA needs to be reformed? We hear a lot from conservatives or Republicans who've seen the problems with FEMA. What do you see as the problem with FEMA?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's good to be here with my friend Byron Donalds, although I did tell my staff that the next time I do an interview with Byron, I'd like to be seated rather than standing. So I see that my staff didn't read the memo. But either way, this is a very important piece of legislation that Byron and I are working on together on a bipartisan basis. FEMA needs to be saved, but it also needs to be reformed. But the biggest reform we can make is to get it out of Homeland Security. It's no coincidence that last year, two agencies that had issues, FEMA and Secret Service, were both in Homeland. And so this is a way in which we can get FEMA refocused on response and coordination, make a direct report to the President of the United States, which is what it was before 9/11. And this will shrink the agency because FEMA will no longer be running all of the grants within Homeland.
Well, Congressman Donalds, I mean, we've been doing this stuff, we've been talking about it, and I don't even want to make this a talking point thing because I've lived it and you've lived it, by the way. I was there for the fires in Maui. You've been there in Florida. We've both seen what happened in North Carolina. There just has to be a better job done by FEMA.
100% there has to be a better job. If you've been through any disaster in Florida or anywhere else in the country, what you've come to realize is that FEMA is not the action agency everybody believes it to be. They are an accounting bureaucratic agency. And like Jared was saying, them being lodged in the bureaucracy of the Department of Homeland Security only makes it worse because there's so many bureaucratic steps that have to be taken before actions are actually made from the federal level to coordinate with the state level government in response to disasters, no matter what it might be. Jared served 2.5 years under Governor DeSantis as a director of emergency management. He knows this firsthand. And so what we are really looking for is an agency with direct report to the White House and the president so they can make swift decisions when it's time to recover from emergencies, no matter where they might be in the United States.